Have you ever noticed how internet catchphrases and slangs make their way into our daily conversations? So today we will be exploring how the catchphrases can influence how we think and act. Welcome back to another interesting Psych Question by SwastiVishwa Institute. I am Meghna, and today we are looking into how adopting popular catchphrases can shape our thoughts, attitudes and actions through the process of what is called as self-fulfilling prophecy. So what is a self-fulfilling prophecy? Before we dive into the internet slang, let's define what a self-fulfilling prophecy means. So basically, a self-fulfilling prophecy is when a belief or an expectation, whether true or not, affects behavior in a way that makes the belief come true. For example, if you think, I am terrible at public speaking, you may approach speaking situations with anxiety, act nervously, and then struggle, which reinforces the original belief. By predicting failure, we may unintentionally make it happen. So now let's connect this to the language we adopt from the internet phrases. Internet slangs has become a part of our everyday language, and phrases like, I am so traumatized, delusion is the only solution, are more than just trendy. They subtly influence how we see ourselves and react to the situations. The more we repeatedly use these phrases, we might start to adopt the attitudes they imply. So let us try to understand this by using the examples we just mentioned. The term traumatized originally refers to a serious psychological trauma. Now, often it is casually used to describe the daily inconveniences, for example, a tough day at work or awkward social situation. When we keep saying I was traumatized about minor challenges, we may start viewing regular stressors as overwhelming or harder to handle than they actually are. It can thus reduce our resilience in accepting and facing the daily challenges and make us believe that we are helpless and victims of trauma. Another trendy catchphrase is delusion is the only solution, often used to describe strong confidence or sticking to a goal despite the odds. While it can inspire determination, if taken too far, it may lead us to overlook the important information or even ignore the realistic limitations. Delusion is a serious mental disorder where the person suffering from delusions is often led by the beliefs that are not based on reality. Delusional disorders require medication and therapy for recovery. Using these words casually can lead us to disappointment or even burnout, where if we are pursuing any goals without the healthy dose of self-awareness. Another misused phrase is, I have OCD. Obsessive compulsive disorder is, in reality, a condition where an individual experiences overwhelming anxiety. Treatment is needed to help these individuals manage and alleviate their symptoms. Being particular in doing things in a certain way, or striving for perfection, or having a very strong preference for cleanliness can simply imply the personal traits or learned behaviors, but not OCD. When we label ourselves as OCD, we are limiting our ability to relax or let things go. This can also reinforce a self-fulfilling prophecy that makes us feel that we must be meticulous, specific, or obsessed. True OCD involves extreme anxiety that is very hard to handle by ourselves. If you are experiencing this level of distress, it is essential to consult a professional. When we adopt certain phrases, it can shape how we interpret the situations. This is popularly known as Linguistic determination, the idea that the language we use can shape our thinking. When we repeatedly use these phrases, we may reinforce the attitudes and beliefs they represent. When someone consistently describes themselves as unlucky or always struggling, it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Eventually, they might start noticing only negative events or even shy away from the opportunities that can prove them wrong. In similar way, saying I was traumatized or I am delusional about my dreams can set the expectations that these phrases represent the actual behaviors or experiences. The popularity of the internet slang also comes from social influence. When we see others using a phrase, we are more likely to adopt it for ourselves. It may make us feel that we are conforming to social norms or trends, but in reality, it can impact our self-perception. If we are surrounded by people who describe minor inconveniences as traumatizing or idealize delusional confidence as a success strategy, then we might start to think that these perspectives are normal or even desirable. But in the long run, adopting this extreme language can impact our emotional response and resilience. So it is very natural to pick up on the popular phrases, but it is also essential to be mindful how they might affect our mindset. So here are some ways to stay aware. So the first one is reflect on what you are saying. Ask yourself if the phrase accurately reflects your experience. Is it really trauma or is it stress? Are you delusional or you are confident? Do you really suffer from OCD or you are just particular about things? The second one is choose words that empower. Select a language that can help you handle situations positively. For example, instead of saying I am so stressed, try I have a lot on my plate but I can manage it. This subtle change can boost resilience and self-confidence. And the last one is challenge the self-fulfilling prophecies. Notice when a phrase might be creating self-limiting belief. Instead of saying I always fail, try reframing it as I am still learning. This shift encourages growth rather than reinforcing self-doubt. Along with this, use words that empower and it will reflect growth mindset and diminish self-limiting beliefs. While the self-fulfilling prophecies can lead to limiting beliefs, we can use them to our advantage. For example, try creating a positive phrase that encourages growth, like I am improving or I have resilience to handle challenges. When repeated, this can become positive self-fulfilling prophecies that reinforces a stronger and resilient mindset. Language has a very powerful impact on how we perceive others and how others perceive themselves. For instance, labeling someone as lazy can lead them to internalize that label. If a child is called as lazy repeatedly, they may come to believe it and incorporate it into their self-concept. This can be especially very harmful for teens and children as their self-esteem is still developing. So it is important to be mindful of the labels we use with others. Catchphrases and internet slangs are fun to use, but it is also essential to be mindful of how they shape our attitudes and actions. Words have power, and by being careful about the language we use, we can influence our thoughts and behaviors for better. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Psych Questions. If you found this insightful, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Also, let us know in the comment section if there are any catchphrases that you have noticed are shaping your thoughts and actions. Until then, see you next time.